Hey, Jacob Lamb here. It's so good to be back with a lot of video ideas and a whole new video library that I'll talk about towards the end. Right now, I want to talk a little bit about soloing on the guitar. Typically, when we start with soloing, we learn the minor pentatonic, and then probably half of guitarists stop right there. What we're going to do is learn the next steps to turn the minor pentatonic into these four really cool shapes with small adjustments. Which means, if you know the minor pentatonic right now, you're going to leave here with new tools to be able to solo with. Now, what we're covering here has an official scary name, and these are called hexatonic shapes. But really, pentatonic is a 5-note mode and hexatonic is a 6-note mode, which means that for each of these changes we're only adding one note to what we're already familiar with, which is really cool. Now, if we're not familiar with the minor pentatonic, it is basically a normal 7-note scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we take away the notes 2 and 6. So what we're left with is 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, back to 1, and then it repeats. So those are the 5 notes, and that's important information because we're going to be adding in notes like flat 5 or sharp 3. Whatever we need to know where that lands on the neck of our guitar. So let's start with our first hexatonic shape and see how it sounds different from our minor pentatonic. I should also mention that all these hexatonic shapes are minor hexatonic, technically, because they're going to be adapted from the minor pentatonic, right? So each of these will have that same kind of minor sound with this slight bluesy edge to it. A lot of chromatic motion of one note to the next, which is a cool sound no matter what style you're playing. Our first one here is the minor pentatonic with a flat 5 in there. So we can think of each of the 5s and we're adding in a flat 5, which is right before it. This gives us that really cool chromatic kind of walk up and walk down blues feel. So here's our normal minor pentatonic. And now with the flat 5 added in. Ooh, you hear that tension in there. It just wants to resolve to something. Now, keep that one in mind as we move on to our second change here, and this is playing the minor pentatonic with a natural 3. Remember, in minor pentatonic, our 1 to 3 is flat because it's minor, right? Now, if we're not quite familiar with the theory yet, that's completely okay. We just need to memorize the shape and know that the note we're adding in is one above the 3. Okay, so here's our regular minor pentatonic. 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 1. And now with the note we're adding in. This one's strange because it adds that kind of major feel in there, right? We're sitting in that minor mode, but we've got a little major coming in. It sounds almost happy back into the sad. Now, the other place to play it, if we don't want to slide our 6th string up, is that we can also play it right there on the 5th string. Same note. Now, the reason I tell you to keep that first change in mind as we learn this one is that we can start to combine them, right? We've already got a shape where we're playing a flat 5 added in. Now we've got a shape where we're adding in the natural 3. And so each of these added notes takes that minor pentatonic into more of this bluesy realm. So there's no reason we can't combine them. We could play up and down. And coming back down. We get these massive 4-note kind of chromatic movements, adds a ton of tension. Let's take a look at the third one on the neck here, which is the same, the minor blues. Now we're adding in the 7. So instead of our flat 7, we're adding a natural 7. So here's our minor pentatonic shape. And let's add in that natural 7. 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, natural 7, back to the 1. Very cool. So again, that's that tension resolving, and it's major tension in a minor shape. Now we've got these 3 changes to the minor pentatonic, and you can play them each individually to add tension on their own, or you can play them as a unit. So working up and down with all of these changes, we've got root, 3rd, major, 4, flat 5, 5, 7, natural 7, back to the root. It's no longer a pentatonic or even a hexatonic when we start combining them. It is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 note scale. Even more notes than a typical 7-note scale. Let's work up and down the whole thing. So we've just transformed this 5-note shape into all these crazy notes that you can build riffs and solos out of. It's a whole different ball game to solo with this instead of the minor pentatonic. Now, if this is overwhelming, there are notes below, there's a PDF, and also watch this as many times as you need to. Take each of these changes one at a time. Speaking of the PDF, this is the big change I want to talk about. I've always said the PDF is available at my website, but I know a lot of us are more familiar or comfortable with Patreon. You might already be on there. So all the PDFs now are hosted on the Patreon, but extra videos are also there. What you see on YouTube is not the full library. So if you want to keep learning, dive in even further, you can get member exclusive videos at Patreon. It's down in the description and the top pinned comment. But we'll work on these. I will see you in the next one.